Hello there guys, it's Joey and this is going to be a review video for the Wisdom of Trees Oracle from Jane Struthers. And I decided to get this. I'd been musing over it for a little while and I actually ordered a particular tarot set which I'm still waiting for. I haven't even heard whether they've shipped it yet. And in the meantime I was like feeling a bit run down, and I decided to grab this for a couple of reasons. I had been eyeing it for a little while, and Jill shared that she'd got it on Facebook, and I was like, And I found it on Amazon through the Book Depository for £8, and that's pretty good. I've ordered from the Book Depository before through Amazon and they were really quick. Unfortunately this time they weren't. It got to the last day of estimated dispatching and it hadn't dispatched, so I contacted them and then there was there's been a hold up, and I said, okay, how long is it going to be? Because if it's going to be a long time then I'm going to cancel it. And then it was sent out 15 minutes after that. So I wasn't best impressed, but it came today. It shipped 4-5 days ago and it was much quicker last time. I'm not sure what's going on, but I got a free bookmark, which I guess that's quite cool. Year of the sheep bookmark, free bookmark. Can't really argue with that. Okay, so the The Wisdom of Trees even comes in a bigger box, a big chunky box. It's a cardboard box, but it's quite a sturdy, firm kind of box. I was kind of surprised how big the box was. I quite like the box, and then it's sort of, you see your cards are in here and your book is in there. So it's quite a large box really, given everything. The original price is £16.99, so I got it for £8, so I got it for half price of that. So some lovely gold leaf embossing on the box though, which is kind of cool. Quite frequently with boxes like this, I don't keep them, but I think I might keep that because it's quite a sturdy little box with a green man on the lid, which is kind of cool. Okay, and then you get your book and the cards themselves. So this is the card back. They're quite big. They're like my hand size, which is quite nice because some Oracle cards aren't. So usually I'm not a fan of yellow, I have to say, but this isn't too jarring, and I do like the skeletal leaf pattern on the back. So there's that, and then your booklet is middle of the line. Your cards are separated into 4 types: roots, trunk, leaf, and flute, flower, fruit, and seed. So this video, I'm doing this video first to see how I get on with getting my words out since migraine, so I may or may not have any more videos today. There's an introduction. There is tuning into trees, getting to know your trees, getting to connect with trees, sensing a tree's energy, Deva and nature spirits, how to use this oracle. Again, it's not the most in-depth thing, but then you don't really tend to expect oracle decks to really come so with a lot of information. So there is spreads and readings, 1 card, sample reading, past, present and future, pretty standard fare. Horseshoe spread, which is kind of nice, so you get like a, there you go, that's the picture of how to do it if you need such things. So I said earlier that the cards are actually split into 4 categories, and what is kind of nice about this is it's colour coded. So roots are blue, and you can see that little blue border pattern. That actually transfers to the cards, which I'm going to show you in a minute. So what we will do is we will show the first card and talk about what the book says about the first card, and then we will just show the rest of the cards after that. Yeah. It's actually, I'm going to say this now, it was Hawthorne that really sold it for me for these cards. So this is a Kaya. This is a lovely card. I really like this card. Let's zoom in a little. So as you can see, it has this blue border, and that corresponds to in the book. I'll get a little closer so you can see the imagery. Akaya protection. Akaya Diva message. Humans have honoured me for centuries because they know I offer them protection even in the harshest conditions. I am a symbol of the continuity of life. The Akaya was an important tree in ancient Egypt, and its wood was used to make coffins, furniture and boats. The sacred barge of Osiris at the Temple of Thebes was also made from Akaya. Osiris was originally a nature god but later became lord of the underworld. The ancient Egyptians wanted to achieve life after death so they could be reunited with him. The Akaya tree guarded the mummified body of Osiris while his soul embraced the universe. In Hawaii, the leaves of the koa, Akaya koa, are laid on sick beds to encourage the patient to sweat. And then the meaning of the card is a little bit disappointing because that's right side up, this is left, this is inverse. So if it's the right way up, trust that you are being given the support and protection you crave, even if you are not yet aware of it. Your sensitivity is heightened at the moment, giving deep insights into the world and people around you. Inverse, an important element is missing from your life, leading to feelings of being incomplete. It will help to reconnect with nature in all forms, but particularly by tending a garden or simply being by outdoors. Okay, so I'm gonna, yeah, it's the same throughout the rest of the cards for this, and just check at the very end what else there is. Okay, there's this further reading. There are some useful websites. Which may or may not provide further information, although it's a little bit sad to provide such things. So, that initial thing from the booklet is kind of what I come to expect from Oracle booklets. The only tarot booklet I have read in recent times which really gives insight the way that I would want insight into the thought processes and the energies behind, which is how I talk when I talk about things that I create, is the Mary L. Tarot book. The rest, they really don't give a whole lot of information, I don't think. I haven't seen an in-depth booklet accompanying any oracle cards, any Ogham, or any Ogham oracle cards, excuse me, that's really in-depth as I would like. So I think the thing about that point, at this point, is that if you haven't already worked with oracle in tree form, this is going to be an interesting experience, because it's going to be, right, okay, I have no baseline, I have no place to start with, and you may wish to do extra research around the particular tree in question. It's a shame in a lot of ways. So that doesn't hinder me particularly. I connect with trees, and I'm going to be talking about trees and the Ogham and things in the course of this series. I think this is going to be the only video today. My words are still a bit stressy. Right, so then we have the baobab tree. The imagery is nice. I was mulling over whether or not to get these cards because they are quite simplistic and they're in art form, although I sat and debated it with myself, and I think you don't necessarily need an excess of energy around a card when it's to do with tree energy, because what you need to be doing is basically aligning yourself to the energy of a particular tree and then incorporating how you feel about that tree, the senses, the smells, how it feels under the skin, the movement of the leaves within your psyche, and then that becomes attached to the cards. That's not going to work for all of these because a lot of these are not going to be native everywhere you go. I'm assuming this is native to Africa, yeah, or this tree is native to Africa, Madagascar and Australia. It does tell you that, it does tell you where the trees are native to. So then we have Cedar of Lebanon. It's a nice picture. Again, so here's another tree. This is Sugi, and that's native to Japan. Yeah. Then we have Banyan, Pipal, the next colour code. So the first colour code, if I didn't mention it enough, is Roots, and is tied into the energy of being. Let's see what it says about. Does it say, explain why they've done this? Hang on. I thought they explained why they've done this. No. Okay. They haven't actually explained why they've done it. They've given one-word meanings. Root being, trunk healing, leaf wisdom, and flower, fruit and seed power. So we're next moving on to trunk, which is tied up with healing and has a brown border. The first being silver birch. Silver birch. You have to forgive me if my brain's a little bit tired because of the migraine. It's interesting. I'm not sure I would have used the Nordic rune Bjork for it. If it were me, I would have used the Ogum. I don't know if you can see. There you go. It's not a bad representation. It's not bad. Hornbeam. Interestingly, the difference between the overall feel of the cards is reflected in the colour. The colour works very well. The palettes which they've chosen. You see here how there's a sort of bluey greeny thread through, whereas here this is much earthier in base. You could make arguments for the elements with these four types. So the first one would be water, the second one would be earth, so possibly, we'll see. And anyway, we'll carry on looking at the cards so you can see the cards. Indian Beam, Camphor, Ash, Scots Pine. I'm not overly keen on that one. I like Oak. Oak is good. Oak has the lightning, which is fantastic. Associated, I think there's some Nordic undertones here because it's associated with Thor, I believe. Cedar Redwood. And then Yew. I like Yew very much. Yeah, Yew is beautiful. I'll zoom in a little. So hopefully you can see the pentagram within the... There you go, it's lovely. And the final one for the trunks is linden. Okay, ooh, I like this one. So we're then moving on to the green border. Okey-dokey. The green border is leaf and wisdom. So we have sugar maple. I like the interaction with the different colours. Eucalyptus. Ginkgo. Holly. I like holly, I think that's good. Oh, I like juniper as well. Juniper. White mulberry. Eastern cottonwood. Quite like the interplay of light on that one. Elm. Oh, and then we're moving on. Okay. So, the last few cards are going to be they're going to be flower, fruit and seed, and are associated with power. So we have sweet orange with a brown border. So the hawthorn is the one that really sold me on the deck. I really have a close kinship with hawthorn, and I really like the image for that. European beech. I think that sort of defines the deck, actually, quite simple but effective. Olive. Date palm. Cherry. I like cherry as well. Pomegranate. Black elder. Quite like that one. And then giant redwood. So I bought these cards more for magical practical work, working with tree energy, having a good symbolism, good artwork, good connection to all sorts of different trees, energizing different magical workings within tree magic and ogre magic, having some different energy shift cards to apply to certain ogres, but to really branch out, there you go, that's today's pun, into other trees as well, so working with trees outside of the ogre. I'm satisfied with the cards for £8. I don't think I would have been satisfied for double that. And I think the box is sturdy and good. The booklet is pretty disappointing, really. I mean, it doesn't take half a second to look up some facts or history about the trees in question, and if you're going to sell a oracle deck as using the wisdom of trees, you can incorporate history of the tree, absolutely, but when you're incorporating one paragraph of history and then barely a sentence on what each card means in the purpose of divination, that seems a bit disappointing. This is definitely one of those decks where you're going to have to sit and really apply your own meanings to it. I don't have issue with that personally, but I like it when there's a bit more effort made in the books than this. It doesn't really start to capture the feeling of trees or the majesty of and the magic really connected. You know, there is no real wisdom in the book about what wisdom is presented from trees. And, you know, why it's all very well to say, you know, some people use this tree's bark for medicine, or you can make this into a tea. Okay, but what does that say in terms of wisdom? That's not present in the book. The book is a bit meh. But the cards themselves, I do quite like the subcategorization. I quite quite like it. I don't mind that whatsoever. Some people might find that, I don't know, nitpicky or something like that. I don't know. I quite like it. I think that's fine. I think the general tone of the cards is beautiful. Some of the imagery is really, really strong. Some of the imagery is okay. But there you go. So that's the Wisdom of the Tree Oracle review. Many blessings.